So you may or may not be familiar with the ability to show insulation in walls using tiles, and we can demonstrate this by editing this wall style here, and this wall style is controlling this straight wall and this round wall. So if I right click on this wall style and choose edit, and it has one component, so we'll double click that and go in and edit the component and change the fill from being a hatch to a tile, and there are some specific tile fills in here for doing insulation, and that's the tile fill there. And if we click OK, you'll see that the insulation expands to whatever the thickness of the wall is. When I click OK and we replace the wall style, you'll see that that insulation nicely fills out to the edge of a straight or round wall. Now that will work in a wall component, so you could use that, for example, on the inner skin or on the stud wall part of a brick veneer wall or something like that. Now let's have a look at this tile and see why it performs like this. And if we go edit and we edit the settings, you'll see that it has rotate in wall and fit to wall checked, and these are the important things that you need to have checked. So let's go ahead now and make a tile that will look like a precast concrete panel. So we'll create a new tile, and we need to rotate in wall and fit to symbol. We can turn that off, and we'll call this Precast. And let's assume that you actually want the background to have a darker color than the round circle. So, you know, we'll choose a mid-gray, but this is not compulsory by any means. So if we just want a circle, then you can literally just draw a circle in here any size, and this these objects around here represent the repetition. So if I was to pick up this and move it further apart, then that will control the spacing between the circles. Okay, so let's just leave it where it was, and you can fix that to what you, or set it to what you need. So exit the tile. Let's now go into this wall style again and change that to this one here. Click OK, and we're getting this effect here. Click OK and replace that. Now, for my mind, the problem with this is that we actually need to have some concrete thickness between the circle and the edge of the wall. And the way to do that is to create the tile fill. So we'll actually edit this tile resource, and we'll edit the geometry. So what I'm going to do is to draw a rectangle around here, which will be bigger than the circle by the amount that I want it set in by. Now remember, I didn't create this at any particular size, but that wall was 200, and you can see that the diameter is 270 here. So that we can actually precisely create these dimensions, because this is being fitted to the wall. We'll actually set this to what the hole should be. So let's say in a 200 wall you want the hole to be I don't know, 150. Alright, so the hole's now 150. So what we're going to do is to draw a rectangle from the center, and this rectangle is going to represent however much bigger the wall or the gap you want. So if we make this 100, then essentially we've got a 200 by 200. I was going to send that to the back, and so this will now define the gap between the circle and the edge of the wall. And so by changing so in other words, this object here is now going to be the thing that's fitted to the width of the wall, and the circle will just be that much smaller. So you can obviously change this. Now we don't want to see this, So what we do is we set its fill to none and its line weight to none. And let's now exit the tile, and you can see now what's happened with our wall here. So again, if you wanted these to be closer together, you'd go back and just edit the geometry and take the repetition and move the repetition a bit closer to whatever you wanted it to be. Maybe something like that. Exit out of there, and that's the way that you can do it.